Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 246B. Oh, 247B. Look at us. I'm your host, Terry Ryan Jr. from beautiful Sudbury, Ontario. And just a lot going on. We just started filming Shoresy. I'm sure I've mentioned that 3,642 times over the last few podcasts. And we're going to have my buddy Sandman on. I just called Sandman last minute. Well, let's just say there's a little bit of adversity in the first week. Nothing human created or no problems, no negativity or anything. But things change on a film set here and there. The order which you go about things. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, things that are kind of unpredictable. And in my own life, I got a lot going on. I'm starting a website. I got some merch coming out. The Jason Greger Show. We're firing with that. So I've been busy to say the least, and there's a lot going on. So I promised you a great guest. Now, most of you love the Sandman. Of all my repeat guests, most of you guys love the Sandman. It's tough for me to get. Like, I got Wendell Clark coming. I got Jeremy Roenick again. God, Davis Schneider from the J. Think of all the nice people. Adam Oates, Luke Wilson. I can go on. I met so many great people over the last few months. The people I mentioned all are game. They said they would love to come on, but I can't schedule anything, unless I got a day off. I think in a week or two, maybe next week, one of these days, because we're not in every single scene. So, I mean, there are days that we're not working, but there's not many of them. And there's absolutely none this week or next. So things could change. Like I said, who knows? Things get moved around here and there. We're getting a lot done in a short period of time. That's it. It's not like it's stressful or anything. It's just, but if I get a day, Saturday I have off. Now, do I want to record on Saturday? I got my daughter's birthday. I'm going to virtually take her and her friends out for a meal. I got to do a couple of auditions. I am setting up that merch, like I said. So I do have a lot to do. I might get something done like that. But anyway, you guys love the Sandman. He's about to come on. So why am I apologizing and justifying such a fucking unbelievable human mind, let alone hockey player? And Sandman was a good player, pretty tough. Great stay-at-home D. That first pass coming out of the zone, always on the tape. High off the glass. He used that a lot. He was old school. Sandman was, and I looked up to Sandman coming in. I came to Tri-Cities. I was there as a 15-year-old, and he just left. So he would have been, 20, turning 21. I was 15, turning 16. I heard of him, and then, my billets would tell these stories, this entity that almost seemed like a cartoon character, like a caricature of a real person, was this Terran Sandwith. But when I met him, I really looked up to him. I'd heard all these stories, and he lived up to it. He came as advertised. Probably why that was 20 odd years ago, and we're still chatting. Okay, ladies and gents, here he is. Former Edmonton Oiler. Awesome father, friend, teammate. Over a decade professional hockey and an absolute legend in Kennewick, Washington. Terran Sandwith. What's up, buddy?
What's buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So, yeah, we just got into, as you know, I was all over, man. I was Newfoundland, LA, Toronto, Bonnyville, here being with Sudbury. So a lot has happened quick. I got a lot going on. I'm putting out a website, getting some merch done with this and the radio. And I don't want to elaborate, but when you start productions, a lot of the times, things get changed out of order, whether it be with personnel or weather or whatever it might be. So we've started Shoresy, and we're going to have to move some things around a little bit. So it's a little bit of adversity, nothing too bad, but I've been real busy. Now, how about you? The last time I spoke to you, you were going off on another trip.
Right. Yeah. So, I bumped into you briefly there on your way through your little travels, but didn't really get to catch up on my little trip to Switzerland. Went skiing. I went to a ski wedding with a buddy of mine who's actually played 2 games of the Leafs, believe it or not, back in the day, Braden Irwin. And it was just absolutely ridiculous. Got married on the side of a mountain, ski out wedding, 80s themed ceremony, like 80s ski theme. So we all had like onesie 80s outfits. It was a hell of a time. And first time I skied in Switzerland, it was beautiful. And now I'm back and I'm going on another ski trip next week to Big White out in Kelowna. So I'm trying to get my couple ski trips in here for the.
What's with the skiing? What happened? What happened with skiing? I never knew you to ever put on skis. You wouldn't know
Well,
how to hit you up the side of the head.
yeah. Well, I mean, how many guys, hockey players are skiers, right? Like it's so I growing up out in West Edmonton, west of Edmonton, a place called Lake Eden. They had a little ski hole there, like nothing, like a tiny little hill, and we lived right beside it. So if I wasn't playing hockey or whatever, I just pop over there and ski for a couple hours a night with my friends, just build jumps. Like had no no ski racing, no nothing. Just go out there and hang out and just build
what are you
jumps.
talking about? How have I never heard of this? What do you mean? You hanging out at night playing skiing like we played street hockey?
Well, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. So playing street hockey.
I've never heard this. This is new.
Yeah, so I was like, I lived out in the country. Like, there's no other, you're not playing street hockey in the city. So, like, I mean, that was really kind of all there was.
No, but to me, it's a little bit. I mean, it's a sport that it's a great sport. I love watching it, but that's so far off the beaten path of sports that I thought you would play it. I'm surprised it hasn't come up by now. Like, if I played cricket.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. I don't know. It was weird. And I just kind of like, so I skied I skied up until I was 15, but when I left home to go play hockey, right? So I had the old straight 210 skis, like the old style bindings, like just retro old stuff. And then so I don't ski for like 15 years plus at all because I can't. And then when I come back and I go try skiing again, now they have these like parabolic skis, which are like way easier to ski on. Like it just changes the whole game. And I got on them and it's like, I went down one run. It's like, when you learn something when you're young, it doesn't take too long to get it back. I'm like, and I just fell back in love with it because I always loved it. And then the whole entire, just a lifestyle, like the après ski, like
being the lifestyle. You kidding me? I'm not big into skiing, but I'll hang out at a lodge. And for some reason, girls at a lodge are always like just I mean, the same looking girl you run into her on the street.
Yeah.
Run into them at a lodge. I don't know. There's a romantic feeling. I don't know what it is.
Well, I'm like that. I don't know what you have like you said, like you have a girl that, she's fairly attractive, but you put her in a snowsuit or like a snowboard suit or outfit and have her on a mountain. It's just like way more attractive. I don't know what it is.
It could be one of those, remember those like movies, Ski School and stuff that used to be on? You know what I mean? When you were a kid, it's like, this is a ski movie, but really it was just wiring kids up, just horny 15-year-olds. Well, I love this movie.
Yeah.
Really, it had nothing to do with skiing.
No, yeah. So that's it. That's definitely a weird path, or just weird thing that when you grow up that happened, and just circumstantial.
So I got this. Do you see this portable record player I got?
I saw you post something the other day. That's awesome.
Okay, so I'd heard. Now I have a nice turntable at home. Actually, no name dropping here. Well, I guess I kind of am. Hold on, I'm moving this. Jason Momoa gave it to me as a present because I had an old shitty one that was still. So he gave me a nice turntable at home. It's some nice speakers. So I never really take records on the road. Now, leave it up to me. As I was packing to come here, I said I'm not going to take too much this year. I'm going to pack minimal. So, and again, what do I do while I'm getting ready? I listen to a podcast or some records or whatever it is, smoke a joint as I'm going, maybe have a coffee. And, most things that works for me, but I always overpack, even when I say I'm not going to. So I got up here and I'm like, it came in the mail, right? Because I had to go to LA first. So FedEx drops off my bags and I'm like, what the fuck did I put? A record player, like of all the things, I mean, of all the unnecessary things, this would come in number one if you're just thinking about music, because I have it in my phone, way more than that. But I'll tell you this, this little thing, they don't pay me. It's nothing. It's called Victrola. Yep. And of course people said don't, because they said the sound would suck. Now the sound is okay. What are you expecting? It's in a suitcase, but it got Bluetooth. I didn't know. It's a game changer. So I just got my speaker here. Got some records, and there's something about a record, Sam, man. This isn't a question. I guess I'm telling you a story and getting you off my show. Just you came on just to listen to me.
Well, that's typically that's our relationship,
But Sam, man, I don't know if you've done this. I know you got records. They're wicked. Now, for the reason I was going to say I like the records, and I'm glad I did this now, is because when you put on a record, you know that you're listening to at least the side of that record, if not the whole record.
Yeah.
There's no even option really. Like, why would you, whereas this is one of my new favorite albums, by the way. I forgot how much I loved it. Dolly Parton, Jolene.
Yeah. Of course.
So, but it's albums like that. And I'm not just trying to bring back nostalgia. That's part of it. I listened to these when I was a kid in some room somewhere. A lot of these, the records I got are all kind of from that time. But I love it because even when I got it on my phone, I'm like every other, you know what? I'm like a 13-year-old girl. I really am. Like when I'm on here, I'm going, I want to hear this and that. And I go out and go shopping or whatever. I'm driving around the city and I'll queue up like certain songs. Yeah. And even I've fallen out of that. And when you got your record on, it's nice and calming. I can read. I can do some laid back stuff. I can cook a meal, whatever it is, without having to hear hit after hit. Now, that, of course, wasn't a question at all. It was a story. Do you listen to your records a lot?
Oh, that's nice of you to ask me a question. I appreciate that.
Now, I have 8 questions for you. All of this this has been the preamble.
Yeah, no, so I bought a record player when I moved into my new place there in Toronto. So same thing. And it's like, you forget about it because, again, we all have ADD now with like social media and the phones and like, everything's right there at your fingertips. And it's like, you're right. You don't like, just keep going through songs. Or the one thing I actually hate is like the algorithm, like when you just throw on like a random playlist or you put whatever or the YouTube music, and it's just like, where does it come up with these? Because you're never getting anything new or whatever. Like whereas before you just kind of go discover things, and then you used to listen to an album, and an album was like most of the concept. Like there was a concept that they were putting together, not just a song. And so it was the whole album was about something, and you had to listen to that whole album was something special, like and especially the really good album. And you just don't have that anymore. Like that stuff. And
very enlightening. See, there you go. I just made a statement, told you a story, and you came back. That couldn't have been a better answer to a non-question. I just hung you out there. Yeah, do you have records?
Well, again, I think that's our relationship. No, we just seem to be going down rabbit holes every time we talk.
Now here we go. Question number 1: your favorite TV mom. This comes from the Jason Greger show last night. My answer was Lucille Bluth. The Bluth family. She hates her kids. She's, I think, going to jail. And jail is around the corner. Tax evasion, everything else. Bit of incest even going on, but she's hilarious. And I find it that they can make that hilarious and not a character that you hate. Says everything about the writers as it does about the mom. Now tell me, Terran Sandwith, who's your favorite TV mom?
Well, I'm going down that. I forget her name there, but what the hell is it called?
Marge Simpson?
No, it's No, I'm just gonna like that. She's a Spanish.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
Spanish mom. She's the young woman to the old guy, and they have it's a family.
New Modern Family.
Modern Family. Thank you very much. Modern Family.
Yeah.
And I just like her because I just find her super attractive.
Good Lord, though. I know it now. I'm drawing a blank.
That's the one that popped in my head anyway. So I guess that's where my brain's at.
Favorite TV mom. You're just, that's it.
That's not what you're.
No logic went into that.
You didn't mean it that way.
That's the hottest person on TV this century. Yeah.
Who's a hot actress?
Yeah, Sofia Vergara.
Sophia, yes. There you go.
That's it. Okay. Hockey question. The Oilers look awful. Are you worried?
Well, I was at the game last night.
You were at that. I guess 6-1 the other way around. How wrong could I have been?
It was unreal. So, actually, I bumped into Greger at the game.
For those that don't know, by the way, it was the Anaheim game because this isn't live. So, the Anaheim game. The Oilers lost 6-2, and I think it's extended their losing streak to 5. They maybe won one game in there, but they're
one game. They beat Carolina barely. They barely beat Carolina.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, a couple things going on. Anaheim's a stealthy team, right there. They got a lot of good young guys, and they got some good pieces there. Like they got Trouba, and they got a couple of good D-man there, and so I think they're definitely an up-and-coming team. I think we were talking to a couple of the guys there, and they really feel if they can sneak into the playoffs, they're a dangerous team to be careful So
I
that
had
I mean,
honestly, I think their trajectory looks good. I think it's going
yeah,
up.
oh yeah, they're an upcoming team for sure. Yeah, I mean, something's going on with McDavid. I just feel like, I mean, I kind of assumed it was a little bit of hangover from the Four Nations Challenge, but I don't know. Like maybe there's something more going on there. I don't know, like injury wise, or he's kind of hurt. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have. Like, you don't even notice him in the game barely, to be honest with you.
Which is weird, man. Like he's
yeah,
and the point pace, good for anybody else, but for him, it's like
yeah,
Gretzky going from 215 points to like 111. You'd go, what?
yeah, yeah. So there's something. I mean, every team goes through ebbs and flows during the season, and maybe this is just kind of like, they just. I mean, they went to Game 7 last year. They kind of know it's a long season. They're going to go into a grind in the playoffs again. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they're just a little bit of a lull here, and then they're going to pick it up as things get into the playoffs. They made a great trade, I thought, for Frederick.
Yeah.
See what they do at the deadline, and then the juices start flowing. Right, you get another month to the playoffs. You're going. So, but yeah, right now they definitely they look really, really bad. Like
they you know what? They really are a team. I can't think of a team in the modern era, so let's just say 10 or 15 years, that are so like they've had so many momentum shifts. Like they've had two historically bad starts to seasons, and then within those very seasons being the last two, had historical comebacks and streaks. One, I think last year they broke the record. This year they came close. And now, so whenever they're doing this, I wouldn't bet against them to win 5-0 the next 5 games. You know what I mean? They can be so dynamic. That's why it's so weird.
Yeah,
it's
it's scary. Obviously, like it's you don't know what you're getting, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a little. I won't. Hey, not to name drop myself, but I'm actually going for dinner tonight with Glenn Gulletson, so maybe I'll find out all the scoop.
Wow, what a great time to call you before that. Ask him some shit. Ask him some shit.
Yeah, for sure. He's my team captain in Saskatoon Blades back in the mid '90s. So great guy.
Yeah, he was a bit of a legend there. No.
Yeah, he was. Oh yeah, he was He was there for 4 or 5 years, and just a hard working lunch bucket guy, captain of the team. Just great.
A lot of guys like your age that I come across.
Yeah.
That played with or against him or know him have good things to say. One of those guys.
Yeah. Lots of respect for sure. Yeah.
Sam, man, Channing Tatum's favorite guilty pleasure food is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with Cheetos in the sandwiches. So peanut butter, jelly, and Cheetos sandwiches.
Yeah.
What's one food that you can't live without?
Yeah, I got 2 things where if you put that in front of me, like I will just absolutely gorge on them. One is charcuterie, like you put some good charcuterie platter in front of me, sausage, nice cheeses, whatever. I will just not stop. You put a good ribs, like pork ribs or whatever. Like I will eat racks upon racks of that if you put it obviously a good recipe in front of me. I got a weakness for popcorn lately. Like I felt like it's like I'm just eating popcorn every night. I can't even sit in front of a TV without getting some popcorn.
Because it's a light snack and you.
Yeah, and I really like it. And I put some butter on there. It's like salty and
salty, and like I like a nice big tall cold diet pop.
Yeah.
If I have light popcorn with the diet, in my mind, it's just really healthy for me rather than some other. But I drink because it's just so salty. I can feel my face and just slurp in the gut. I mean, it can't be good. Better than a Big Mac and Doritos, though. So whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
I assume.
Nothing. I wouldn't say I got anything weird, fetish, a weird eating thing like that with the Cheetos and the peanut butter. I don't really have that. No.
Moises Alou took a piss on his hands before every at bat. Do you have any superstitions in sports or otherwise?
Well, I still find myself when I play men's league hockey or my shinny hockey. It's just a shinny skate, so it's not even I still find I actually catch myself like literally putting on the left skate first, then the right skate, the left shin pad first, and you put your underwear on a certain way. Like every step is almost exactly like when we played, and you just went through the routine.
And if you think about it, I bet in your head you go, well, I've gone this far. Like I might as well, even though I should. It's not a big deal anymore, but I've gone this far. It would feel weird to break the streak.
completely weird, like just to go the other way. Like I almost should force myself one day because it's just like, why am I doing this? It's just total automatic, ingrained in you that you can do this certain thing. But that was my biggest thing. I had like a crazy routine before every game, like just right when you get to the rink at a certain time, have a certain coffee, go do a certain stretch at a certain time, like the whole thing was just a dance. And then you remember like on the ice, like when people watch hockey, they don't know hockey, and people go out for the warm up or whatever, like, and coming even on the ice, like every guy had a spot on the team, who's going first, who's going last, who's going certain things, certain handshakes. You see that, people see the hallways, certain handshakes. Then you go, it's like just an orchestra, like it's like a whole dance before the game starts. It's all done the same way before the thing. You skate around the exact same way.
It really is when you're watching. Everybody is doing something like that. Yeah, I got so into like the warm up that the one that lasted was I had to put the last puck in before I go off, and I could control that. Because in junior, I had I got to be the last off, and then you always run into somebody that's a veteran, and it just got too much. So I said, okay, this one I can control. I still though every time beer league, whatever. If that didn't happen, I would stop the game before the ring and say, give me a puck, and I'd go throw it in the net, get it out, and just technically I've thrown that much. I think hockey, other sports must do the same, but games, there's so much preparation that I think it breeds OCD. A lot of, I'm not 100%. Even saying that in a negative way. It's just
no, 100%. I agree with you. Yeah.
If I got a hat trick or something, I'd look back. What did I do before the game? Oh yeah. I closed the cupboard 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then that's how it starts. I'm telling you, that's how it starts.
Yeah, and then the best one is that when you're playing bad or you're not scoring or whatever, and then you change something up, and then you go out and score or whatever, and then you have a good game. You're like, oh, that's got to be it.
That's it.
Sure. Now I got to do that.
That's it, man. Michael Jordan wore the same college shorts because he made that shot in college, and he wore the same shorts every game of his career under his real shorts.
Yeah.
So, it gets in people's heads. I'm sure if it wasn't in his head, he would have taken one of those games off. In the song Jolene, speaking of Jolene, Dolly Parton is obviously on my mind. Dolly Parton asked Jolene to lay off her man because she's so deeply in love. Who was your first crush? Where were you? How old were you?
First crush.
God, doesn't have to be a girlfriend.
No, my first crush I can remember, I had a crush on my babysitter. I was like probably 4 or 5
that makes total sense.
She was so beautiful and cool, and you just thought, oh my God, and again, you don't even realize what you're doing, right? And
you don't know, yeah.
Because I was a really a shitty kid, actually a really shitty kid, but I would always get in trouble, always, especially when babysitters came over, I would just be a shithead. But for her, I would just do anything she asked me. That was just the best kid ever.
Oh yeah. I had a girl like that. She wasn't a babysitter. An older girl that would be around the house, but I used to love even just sitting next to her on the couch and our legs touching and all that warmth and wondering why I'm getting tingly and stuff. That's what I remember.
That's what's wrong with us. It started all the way back then.
I just remember I was really nervous and I could be embarrassed easily back then. I think that's why I don't now, because at some point I just had to get over it and I tacked it off because I would get really self-conscious. And I just remember once I found out I could get an erection, going my first thought was oh my God, what's going to happen at school? I got to get all jeans. I can't have jogging pants anymore. That was my first thought because I was don't call me up to the board and ask me to do a problem. Looking back, I can't believe that any fucking teacher gets any kid with jogging pants on ever up. You know what might happen, man, in grade 6, 7, or 8. You get it. You know what might happen. You know what I mean? It's your fear. Then what are you going to do? Unless you put your hand down your pants and put it up into the strap and everybody knows that, or do you go up and kind of put your ass back a little bit and have no one see you got a hard on? And then why do you have a hard on going up to the board anyway, right? You're just sitting there with it sometimes. It just happens. It was my biggest worry.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of trauma right there for sure.
If I could tell you that you could live to be 200 years old, and I would also give you $6.8 billion right now, but you have to be Constable Rupert J. Rupert J. Corkface for the rest of your life. So you'd have to be for the next, century and a half.
Yeah.
You'd have to be Constable Rupert J. Corkface.
Are you asking me would I do that?
I'm saying, would you do it?
You're gonna give
200. You get to see like your great grandkids and shit.
And I get billions of dollars.
6.8 billion.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
So you're Constable Rupert J. Corkface, I guess,
That's
with
right.
no different change. You know what? That's a confident young man right there.
Oh, I get a
That's
nickname.
a confident guy.
Hey, for $6.8 billion, hey, I could.
That's true. You know what?
People are gonna like
Rupert J. Corkface would be a cool motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
That changes stuff. Yeah, that's true. You don't like it? Yeah, that's it. Corkface would be the new Pitt. Okay, in order to continue eating pizza, you have to eat ever. So you have to give up pizza. You probably have given up pizza. What have you not given up? Burgers?
No, I do like gluten-free pizzas and stuff. So
you still do?
Yeah, I have burgers. I can still.
You're really good with your diet.
It's not deep fried stuff.
For the most part, am.
You're good. You're really good with it. You're really good with your.
I'm fairly good, but there's things you're very you got a good willpower about it. You're well disciplined. Okay, so in order to continuing pizza of any sort, you have to eat pizza for a week straight, and you only get 2 kinds of pizza.
Yeah,
I could have said 1, but let's say 2, because pizza is one of those things. Like people say, "What's your favorite pizza?" And I could tell you, my favorite's cheese. I love cheese pizza, but there's something to be said for so I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think maybe 2. And there's so many options. I mean, you can have chicken pizza. You can have all kinds of pizza. You could have Dorito pizza. What would the 2 kinds of pizza be on your menu? So you got to eat them for a week straight. All you get to eat is pizza twice a day.
Easy. Meat lovers, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And chicken pesto.
With the pesto sauce?
Pesto sauce.
Oh, yeah. Like not just chicken pesto pizza on the red sauce.
No.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Pesto sauce with chicken and cheese.
So
yeah.
Add some goat cheese. There's a restaurant in Montreal, Weinstein and Gavino's on Crescent Street. Can't believe you answered that because I can't believe I forgot to say it. I didn't have an answer written down. I didn't really think about it. That was your question. It was one for you. But I can't believe you said that. Chicken pesto pizza with goat cheese is one of my. Jeremy Charles and I used to eat there. I ate there 14 days straight one time in Montreal, and I had that and the tortellini rosé every fucking time. That pizza to start and tortellini rosé. How was I not 600 pounds?
No, that's my favorite. Throw a little roasted pine nuts on there too. Just add a little extra.
I can't do that anymore because I'm allergic, but a boy can dream. Sam, man, thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it. A half hour has gone by. Just like that. Look, you did me a favor, and I learned something in the process. I'll never forget that you're a skier.
I'm a skier. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I know you go to ski trips, but I mean, I've gone to ski trips.
You actually thought I went there just to sit in the lounge. That's what you were thinking.
I think you went there to wear your 80s gear because I saw that 80s gear. Looks awesome. And sit in the lounge. Yeah. I'm going to go on one of these trips with you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I think that would be awesome. You could play the role of getting the après all set up and do all that kind of off the hill stuff, and I can go skiing, and we'll meet up after, and we'll just do our thing.
We're going to do that right before we hit the George Street Festival. Folks, if you're at George Street, why not go to Trinity Pub? Check it out. Coffee, beer, whatever. They got a nice environment, live music. And I'll tell you this, if I was starting at Trinity, why wouldn't I go to the Martini Bar, Rob Roy Confusion, TJ's, Greensleeves, and of course the Bull and Barrel. If I was going to go for a bite to eat that same day or any other, I'd go to Blue on Water, Loose Tie, or Wedgwood Cafe, who also do catering. If I was going to work out, I'd go to see Ryan Power, Rope Walk Lane, strength and balance for the body and mind at Power Conditioning. Rope Walk Lane, Ryan Power. If I was going to go to Mr. Lube, there's 2 locations. One's on Torbay Road, one's on Kemba Road. Live, laugh, lube. Chris Sparks also owns the Carpet Factory. Check out the Carpet Factory. I don't have a slogan yet, but I'm going to get one soon. But trust me, it's great. The Carpet Factory. True Hockey, take what's yours. Pitbull Pain Relief. Pain sticks that just don't quit. Go to pitbullpainrelief.com and see what all the fuss is about. And of course, check out Crown Cabinets while you're at it. Folks, will be back in just a couple of days with more Tales with TR.